Hello and welcome to another episode of No Time. My name is Obed Villas, and with me is Mr. Chocolate Rain, Joel Young.
He did it. He did it. Chocolate rain. If you know, you know.
uh, what's up, dude?
Sorry, no. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like it. Oh man, no, I'm doing great. I say great, but I'm genuinely we're here. You know,
We're
I'm glad
here.
we made it to this week without divulging too far. But no,
Yeah,
we're doing good. I mean, I've been talking to you about a little bit beforehand, like trying to find time to still just have a balance and enjoy some fun things. I did get a chance, Obed. I mentioned to you briefly beforehand with the show. I got a chance to go ahead and watch the ending fully, the first season of Alien Earth that was on Hulu. Um, Honestly, good that I'm actually happy that I binged it. Yeah, week to week would have been fun. Like that's cool,
right.
but like having it come out and then be able to just get through it when I had some time was definitely, I think, a more for me enjoyable experience because there's a lot of moments that I feel like if I would have had to wait a whole week just to find out what happened, my interest level might have just been a little bit more challenging.
Yeah,
So yeah, not too late for anyone who's trying to jump in. Highly recommend it. I think that it's amazing what they were able to accomplish for television. It's to me quality that you would see from like an HBO level or
yeah.
anything of that top tier, right? From a financial standpoint, from the acting, from the writing, and the visual effects, and as well as costume. Like the gosh, the alien themselves, like they having the xenomorph, like the costuming and the ways around it, it doesn't look like goofy. It really does have a good level to it, that you would see like in the movies the same
Yeah.
way, and it had me like on the edge of my seat
It was
many
it was good.
times.
Yeah, it's good. I'm halfway through. I watched two more episodes since we last
Yeah.
spoke, and yeah, man, it's good.
And without spoiling, we'll talk about more when you get through watching it. I'm certain that there will be more, and I'm glad that Hulu's the right place for this, for sure. Disney, not that they were gonna ever make it like a Disney Plus original thing, but they understand like the right demographic and the stylization around it. Um, Borderlands, I'm sure you saw the actual uh, rating came out for the film, and it's gonna be PG-13. I don't know if you saw that
Oh,
that
for the
Borderlands. Sorry,
Predator
the Predator Borderlands. Yeah, sorry,
or
Badlands.
whatever. Yeah,
Gosh, I see how tired I am, guys. This is
yeah,
it's,
yeah,
uh, it's
yeah.
tough.
Not to
Anyways,
be confused
so
with the
yeah,
Borderlands movie that got
not
terrible
that one. That was
reviews.
yes, the
Yeah,
Kate Blanchett,
right, right,
Kevin
right.
Hart one,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, not great. Never saw. It. Don't intend to at the moment, but. Yeah, so the Predator Badlands, I saw it's officially PG-13, and I know that people that's controversial because I think a lot of people were hoping it would be R.
right.
I know the Prey was R beforehand, that was on Hulu original, but
Yeah,
they are making clear no extra blood and some of these extra gore and things they cut out of it. So we'll see how it works out at the end.
yeah. We'll see how it turns
I
out.
think right now it's just one of those good to see that these different franchises that Disney has a hand in is starting to continue to keep growing. Did you watch Obed the Predator animation on Hulu that
I haven't.
they
I
had?
haven't. You said it
Which
was pretty good, right?
yeah, really good. I
Yeah.
mean, it connects directly to the Prey, and it's gonna definitely connect right into these movies. So,
Yeah.
if you haven't watched it and you're planning on watching these new ones, highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Also, guys, really sorry about the audio. It seems like there's something going on with Discord. Not us.
Yeah,
we
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 can't
test
fix it. We don't
we
know. Yeah,
tested. We're all good on our ends. It's just that Discord's not cooperating tonight.
yeah.
So if you hear some crackling, it's not us. Sorry. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have some time to catch up. I was really busy last week, as well with work and some other stuff, and then over the weekend, because if you've been listening, you know that I've been working on a book. Weekend, I was able to publish it. You know, audio completely now. Oh, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, we lost audio. We
Yeah,
for
I
for a
lost a bit
second,
for
yeah.
sure.
Okay. So, yeah, finally, over the weekend, I was able to publish it, self published. I got tired of waiting for publishers to reach out or do whatever they want to do. I really have no idea how these guys operate, so I cannot judge. But it's here. This is my not for resale copy of Nolo Time. I'm gonna put a yes here. Let's see. Finally, dude. Like 10 months of work. In total, I would say about 7 months writing, about a month and a half, 2 months of editing and proofreading and correcting and all that. And then I spent the last month just working on this dang cover, dude. As well, just make it my own. So I look for some inspiration, ran with it. Um, didn't use the podcast logo because wanted to keep it separate from. Okay, I think my mic is acting up, Joe. I may have to.
Yeah, audio is really rough there.
I think I may have to switch mics here in a second, or change my input. But yeah, so it's available on Amazon, Kindle, and paperback and hardcover. Barnes and Noble available on Nook and paperback. Um, Man, I can't tell you how happy I am. I'm very happy. There's very few people that I mentioned in this book by name. Joel's one of them. Hence, no other time, right? We're here. Um, but it's the more I think about it, I started reading it myself. My wife's been reading it. My wife is very picky. She likes it, and I can tell. Um, so like to me, that's like the greatest my greatest accomplishment that I can have with this book, right? It's like my family liking it. My daughter's been reading it. Her little like Chuck E. Cheese markers here on her. So she's been reading this one. My wife actually bought a copy on Kindle and started reading her. She started reading it here, caught up on the app. Um, and I am just very happy, and I want to share this with everyone. Um, I hope that if you've been listening to the podcast and you've been tuning in, here and there, you grab a copy. Um, you know, it's I think it came from a place of love. And this is dedicated to people that were with me through good and bad, and their stories. There's really fun stories. There's stories of joy. There's stories of grief. There's stories of struggle. Um, you know, stories of coming of age, finding yourself, all that. There's stories and games in this book for all that. A lot of Street Fighter too. I realized that later on. So,
That's a part of who you are.
a lot of Street Fighter. In in but I think it turned out really well. It's around 283 pages, all in all. Version. The. Uh, so no, but shout out. You do have a shout out in here.
Your name's on it.
Your name's on it. But hey, you know what? I could probably do an AI voice and have one of those AI replicant
or
voices.
maybe let the listener do that, so we don't get in trouble for impersonating anything.
Yeah, exactly. So we may have to go into repair mode here a little bit. It
Yeah,
could be
no
it could be
problem.
something on my end.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me look for this slide. And
We know how to podcast though. It's
not a
okay, guys. I
podcast.
promise.
I think we'll be right back. Let me see if I can figure
Don't
this
go
out.
anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We'll be
Nope.
right back.
Hold on. Yay, there we go. Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on. Hold on, Mike. I could be the cable. I think I moved some cables around over the weekend, and that could be it. So I think we're back now. But
We
yeah,
are back.
we are back. But yeah. Check it out. You know, it's again, not a lot of time. Um, I'm really excited for it. Really, really excited. So, yeah, definitely, take a look at it, and I hope you enjoy it. If you grab it, it's a positive project. I approached it with a very positive mindset. I wanted to create something positive. There was too much negativity in the world, and I think I could make a difference. So, yeah, check it out. I don't want to be negative,
100%.
Joel, but dang, Microsoft, what are you doing? Hold on, I gotta do this one. It's gonna be Microsoft. What are you doing? That's unfortunate. Yeah, man, the gift that keeps on giving, I guess, is Xbox, and I don't know. I think there's not too many news or updates other than they're walking back some things to certain regions that they don't necessarily impact the U.S. and yeah, I don't think it really matters that much at the end of the day. Big thing, I sent you a picture over the weekend. that Sam's Club,
Yeah.
Sam's Club had my local Sam's Club had the Series X for like 320 and the Series S for 279. I've seen them cheaper though. I've seen Series S, I've seen posts of Series S going for 179 and the X going for 299. So, whew, man, yeah, I think all in all, we can probably just make this the topic for the end of the show. Unless someone has some questions on no load time, the moments and video
Yeah.
games
Well,
that shape who I am.
100%. 100%.
But yeah, I think that ultimately, Joe, it's they muddied the waters too much. I don't think there much they can do at this point. I think they've eroded any goodwill that was left on at least their casual fan base. I know that they're always going to have that hardcore fan base like Sega, right? I always go back to Sega. It's like, yo, Sega's gonna release a new console. I'm gonna go buy it. I don't care. That was me, right? So there's always going to be that hardcore audience for Xbox that will buy the ROG Ally X and will buy whatever's next, and they don't care how much money Game Pass Ultimate is, right? They're always going to have that, 33% of their fan base is going to buy everything they do regardless. It doesn't really matter. Problem is the other 66%. What do you do with those? And I think that they've eroded a lot of confidence. Um, it's very unfortunate that they're at this point, right? I it's what's unfortunate is that it's all self inflicted. Clearly, they um clearly they want to have a new business model and they just don't know how to approach it. And you know it's unfortunate. The thing is, like, I don't want them to go away because they were the ones that were keeping Sony in check.
Right.
Like Sony can come out and do whatever they want on next gen and get away with it because they're not going to have any competition. And I know that a lot of people are going to say, it's like, well, I'm going to go to PC. It's fine. It's like, sure, that's okay. But oh man, it's tough. It's tough. I feel like, dude, the sad thing is that I know that when their fiscal year ends, there's gonna be another round. Like another round of people are gonna get laid off, and that's gonna continue happening until I don't know who's gonna be left at Xbox, right? Ultimately, I know that they want to hold on to all these properties that they've invested in because they don't want to, like, they're not going to get rid of Activision. Like, they are Activision now. But it's the point that that's what it is, right? So, but yeah, go ahead, dude.
No, and that's what we're seeing, right? Like, I mean, Call of Duty was always something I think that they thought when they made the Activision deal was going to be like a staple for them that they were going to use to really help bring people eventually. Like, we knew, like, at first they weren't going to do an exclusivity. That would just hurt them financially. But I figured, and we theorized many times on the show when that deal happened, that maybe at some point Microsoft was going to try to phase it to say, here's why you need to have an Xbox. You can play one of the largest intellectual properties worldwide, only on our console, or maybe cheaper, maybe through Game Pass, some type of extra, incentive like that. But when you start to raise these prices and you're between both the hardware and just the actual subscription-based model, and then the amount of cancellations we're having, clearly it's not strong enough of an impact, right, to have that much of a pull. I don't know if I mean, you're probably seeing it a bit, but like Sony and PlayStation has completely shifted gears to 100% back the marketing of Battlefield. That has been their total like push right now, and their answer is saying, like, we're not even like talking about Call of Duty. We're not looking at this as something that we're trying to make extra money on. We're just gonna back Battlefield
Right.
6 and hope that maybe those people who have been disappointed with what's going on over with Game Pass prices increasing and obviously the hardware woes around tariffs, etc. Like maybe you'll move over to PlayStation and say, "Oh, let me go ahead and give Battlefield 6 a chance." Like this is the moment where the competitors don't have to try very hard and are automatically going to steal some of the audiences, the awareness, because people already are just so mad. But what Microsoft can only do battle by themselves, kind of thing. They don't need someone to kick them while they're down. They're already in this position.
Yeah.
No one's picking up arms and trying to fight them and trying to push them into a bad place. They don't need to. But you would say like, oh, like this is a moment now where the competitors can start to put their hand down, extend a hand, and say, you know, join us, and together we can have you as a new part of our fandom for our family. But no, like most of these companies, we're looking between your Nintendos and between your PlayStations. They're not going hard on the you need to join with us at this moment, where you would suspect that. I think the biggest news I saw, at least I saw individually, and there might be other things, you tell me, was the new DualSense controller that I saw just
Oh,
got
blue one.
announced, that new design,
Yeah.
the blue one, which is beautiful. That
Looks
is a
really nice. Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I like it. I know some people I saw saying it's okay. I think that's a gorgeous piece of hardware. Stuff like that is where like that's your answer in a moment where your competitors are starting to struggle. There's not really a concern. I think all the conversation and commentary and the stuff that you sent over to me is really just looking at the long-term perspective,
Right.
where everyone just keeps theorizing. So what's next? What's next? What's next? The company themselves, clearly internally, that's the conversations that they're having, or have already had, but are continue to have, because in order for there to be a preservation of the brand, you have to recoup between just the financial losses, but then expect and project what they're going to gain back from a next gen experience. Because there's not gonna be any executive, even with a company that's as wealthy and as well as successful as Microsoft is. Microsoft doesn't need Xbox to survive. They're doing just fine. This is a service that they've just had as a staple. It's a home name, type of thing. They don't need that for this thing to keep going. But like they're not gonna just let it just die off. They're gonna try to see what goes on. It's on the people who are the heads of Microsoft to now come around and say, like, we can prove to you that we have enough data, and you and I know, we know business, we know how these things work. You can find data to back any bias you want. You can come up with statistics to find anything. But when it comes to money, you cannot fake money. You can't say, oh, these many people are interested, whatever. You need to actually show that you can fiscally do this for the company. And I don't think, Obed, I don't think it's gonna be the strategy that most people are expecting. They know that they don't do very well overseas. They're gonna have
Yeah.
to fully move straight into the States. They can't, like, if they try and win overseas, if that's what they're thinking next gen. Like, how can we get that? They're not gonna do anything. They need to work on what can we do here in the States. That's going to win over some of the audiences. Where are we going to have people who have a Switch and us? Because like your handheld that's going out, it's not going to sell. We know that. Like, there's a lot of questions that I'm just throwing out there, things that need to be discussed, and it can't just be a discussion around what the execs want to happen. Like, they need to have a come to Jesus moment of like, there needs to be drastic changes of how they approach their business. Does that mean, Obed? I'm going to throw something crazy out there. Does that mean that they completely reimagine Game Pass, kill it and reimagine it?
I think with Game Pass,
They might have to.
well, they already did. They killed
But
it.
raising the price, but raising the price
Yeah.
isn't reimagining it.
But
That's just saying, like,
changed it
we're
because they
changing the model.
But then now they have that middle tier that you have to wait a year for first party stuff to come out on Game Pass, and no Call of Duty. You get no Call of Duty whatsoever. I told you last year that if Game Pass puts Call of Duty. If Microsoft puts Call of Duty on Game Pass, it's going to be the end of Game Pass. I told you last year, man. We had this discussion, 10 months ago, a year ago, when the last Call of Duty was coming out. It's like if they put Call of Duty on Game Pass, it's going to be the end of Game Pass. And look, 300 million lost, dude, because of putting Call of Duty on Game Pass. And then I saw a really good video today. Oh man, I can't remember the channel because it's a really good video. Someone talking about it. It's like, hey, I used to have Game Pass on PC, I used to have Game Pass on Xbox, and I played Lies of P on it, and I really like that game. And there's Lies of P DLC coming out that I want to play, but guess what? Lies of P is not on Game Pass anymore. So now I have to buy a $60 game and the DLC plus pay for Game Pass. Might as well should have just straight up bought the game. And that's the
Right.
thing, right? It's like we keep seeing this. It's like, hey, you know what? It's the Netflix thing. I have so many things to watch that I end up not watching anything. And
Yep.
and you
And
know,
that's
it's the golden corral. It's like I'm gonna take a little bit of everything. If I don't like it, I don't have to take any more, or sample everything, enjoy nothing. And that's Game Pass for me.
but there's a thing, right? Like I don't think a lot of people understand because they're like, that doesn't make sense. That people like, oh, it's fine. Just throw the whole catalog on here, and people will play what they will. Just having it available to them has got to be a good selling point. No, these things cost money, licensing rights and dollars behind hardware just to be able to have these titles available for people to both stream and download from their services. I don't think people understand. There's a reason why when you go on HBO Max, if you had been on there when they first launched, and there were certain titles on there, had like Looney Tunes or whatever, all these things.
Yeah.
That stuff started to go away more recently.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why would you take that off? That's the classics.
Yeah.
Because people aren't watching them, so they're not going to spend money licensing money to be able to say
No.
like, oh, this thing is to be instantly
Yeah.
available, and hardware to say, oh, these things to be stored on our servers.
It's the
and
hosting,
whatever.
yeah. The
There's a whole lot
hosting
of stuff
costs
goes
money.
around.
Hosting costs money. Microsoft doesn't want to spend money hosting, petabytes of data with all these games when they can use all those petabytes of data for
Correct.
Copilot.
Correct.
That is as simple as that.
Like you look at these companies and they're like, okay, our originals, like our stuff that we made in house, they'll prioritize first, and then the other ones that have maybe like a deal between two different, like, oh, this company, that company's involved, would be the ones that usually get phased out first. Like Microsoft doesn't have that from a gaming standpoint. They don't have that edge. They absorbed a lot of these companies.
Yep.
So when they start to say, well, this one needs to be taken off, or this one you have to pay extra to have this access, or you have to wait this amount of days, like what real benefit are you giving to people who say, I chose Xbox? I could maybe play some of these games. If not, I would say 95% of these games I can play another place through another source. Like I could just buy it outright on a PC, or I could buy it outright on PlayStation.
Right.
For a lot of these things, what are you incentivizing me to have Game Pass with? At a time, it was just because of its price point, and there is still some positives around. I said it on the show. I know everyone was freaking out about it because it was a ridiculous hike. I mean, in this economy, any price hike would cause me to stop and think. However, we've talked before, the price of games are increasing. So I'm not like this price hike didn't necessarily shake me. I'm not a consumer of this one, but I'm just on the outside reading the news. It's just bad timing because you just literally went a week after telling everybody you just spent an extra $200 to buy my console, and now you got to spend another extra $20 or whatever just to have now my subscription based model too. People are like, hold on, time out. I didn't want to do all that. Little Jimmy is over here freaking out because he's like,
I didn't vote for this.
I didn't want. I mean, there's all kinds of. Well, first of all, this isn't just an American issue, although Xbox it kind of is.
Yeah.
But when it comes,
And
when it
the
comes
reason,
down to
yeah,
it,
and that's that's
Yeah.
why the reason why Game Pass
Correct.
is not going up in certain regions is because their footprint there is so small that they don't really care.
It doesn't
But
even
I
matter.
did
Yeah.
hear that Brazil is actually doubling their price. Like it went up. It didn't go up 50% like here, right? It went up to like double the price. So
Right.
it's insane, dude. Man,
That is insane.
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
And we're not thinking about the 2,000-pound elephant that's coming in next year. Because if PlayStation's, which most likely already happened, secure the marketing rights for GTA 6, it's done, bro. Like it's
Game
done.
over. People are going to buy PlayStation 5s just for GTA. There's no way around. Like
It's not
that's
on
gonna be a
PC. It's not
console
coming out on
mover.
PC until
No.
I don't know when. So
And no one's gonna want to. Oh, let me wait for that to drop on PC to play. People have waited years for one of the largest video games of all time to drop. There ain't no way that they're gonna say, "Well, wait a few more months for this one."
yeah,
No, they're gonna want it day one, bro. Those servers are gonna go crazy day one.
yeah.
They better be ready for day
I'm
one. For
telling
that
you,
thing.
dude.
Those
They're
servers
gonna
are
they're gonna secure.
busted.
Yeah, they're gonna secure marketing rights. Can you imagine a pack in, dude?
Oh,
They do a
jeez.
pack in. It's. I mean, if
Bundles
you
and
think it's
whatever,
over,
yeah.
if you think it's over now, wait till May of next year, whenever
Watch and see.
yeah, because once GTA comes out, that's gonna be a decisive death blow potentially for the hardware side of Xbox. And going into like some of the rumors that broke over the weekend, like over the weekend there was a bunch of rumors, going around the handheld and stuff. Let's go over those. Like the first one, I guess the big one was that they actually canceled their next gen console, which I when I saw it, it's like I don't think that's true because there's that
Me
video.
either.
There's that video of Sarabon out there saying, "Hey, we're partnering with AMD and we're doing the thing, and it's gonna be the most powerful thing you've ever seen, and this thing can drive your car for you, and all that stuff." So, that when that video comes out and you're mentioning a partner that you're working with a partner to do this console, them there's no turning back. Like there's you gotta you gotta commit. Like that's a commitment that you have to keep with your partners, and AMD is not gonna go back. So
No.
what do you think of those rumors? But yeah, I didn't buy it for a second.
Not at all. Not for a minute. Again, I think a lot of things are being reimagined. I can see them having emergency meetings to say, I know we've spent a lot of money to start developing this thing. There's a lot of resources behind it, but I can see them putting like an emergency pause, but not a cancellation. There's a difference between taking a moment and taking it down. And I don't think this is a moment where they're telling them inside. I think we would have heard more from that already of them saying like we're sending an entire department of people home saying you're not working on a new con. Like there's no way that just is so casually done. Could it happen, Obed? Yes. Has it happened? No, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I don't.
I think it could. I think it could. There's a real possibility, a real world where we do hear that press release comes about and they're like, it's been a great run, GG's. This is how the brand's going to continue and it's going to be this thing. But I don't. I think that's drastic. I don't think that's going to happen. Possibly, yes. I think what's going to happen rather instead is they're going to stay quiet. They're going to put their heads down. They're gonna keep working on a whole new revisiting of whatever it was. Maybe they said, "Oh, we're just gonna have another disc-based console that also has Game Pass being a big selling point for it. That runs in
But
8K."
why?
No,
Why would they
now
have
it's gonna be
this?
streaming only.
Dude, have you been to Walmart?
Correct.
Have you seen the
It's not
Xbox
there.
shelf at Walmart? Because I went to Walmart over the weekend last week.
They're not even stocking them, dude.
The Xbox. So basically, there was no Xbox physical games. It was just all they had inside the case was headsets and controllers. They didn't have any games, any Xbox at all,
Yeah. Yeah.
at all.
That's how it
And
is.
I went to Best Buy over the weekend. I didn't see Xbox games. I saw a shelf with controllers and accessories, but no games. They're not gonna release the next console. Won't have a disc drive because they can't move the discs now.
Right.
That's the
Right.
thing, right? Man, it is. What the
Yeah,
heck?
that's what we're seeing. This is what we're seeing, man.
Yeah, and what's it's again. I don't want to make the comparison to the Dreamcast because we're talking about a completely different story, right? Xbox is a almost $4 trillion company. When Dreamcast came out, Sega was like $300 million in debt or something. Like it's not even a fair comparison to do this,
No.
right? But when the Dreamcast, when 2020 when 2021, oh jeez, like 2001 rolled in, and you went to EB Games to look for a Dreamcast game, there was no games. And what happened 3 months later? Hey, yeah, we're discontinuing the Dreamcast. Sega will exit the console market, and we will focus on making games for PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. So it's the writings.
Changes are coming.
The writings there.
Yeah.
I don't think that next gen console is gonna get canceled, but I think it's going to be prohibit. Ah, it's gonna be really expensive.
But like, why not just like rip the thing down to like? I mean, they kind of tried to do this between the Series S and the Series X. I understand the vision a little bit. As much as I give them a joke about the
Right.
names were terrible, but like bad marketing, bad names. But like, why not just tear the thing down to like a super economic version? That's like you don't care about graphics, you just want to have the ability to run the new games at the standard or entry level, thing, like because
We have
they're
a
not gonna be able to
we have a
sell.
product for you. It's called the ROG Ally, not the X, the $599 one.
Right. But it's like why won't they just push that type of a product more for like a next gen type thing, like move into something like that that's fully more branded, than say like we have this, because they know their competitor. That's what Sony's gonna do. Sony's gonna walk out there and have their swagger and be like, yo, we got the tech that can run, 8K over here. So, you can what I'm just throwing numbers out there.
Yeah, yeah.
You can do this, whatever. And like they're gonna do something crazy and they're gonna wanna stand up there and be like, we can do it too, because we're Microsoft. And it's like I don't think that's I know that's been the strategy for years. If I'm in their office, I'm like, no, this is what Nintendo did so well. They
Yep.
started working on games.
And
Shut down your next gen division working so hard on hardware and work on the hardware that's the most best price point for the consumer, and start meeting with developers and say, we have to save the company. We need games that will save this thing that people will say, I'm going to fall in love with these experiences.
yeah,
A gamer's first console. What a concept.
bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't think the PS6 is gonna be much different than a PS5, than a regular PS5.
Like a pro, you mean? Or,
It's probably gonna be something like, yeah, a little bit more powerful, but it's gonna be like nominal. It's gonna be, yeah, but maybe it's gonna be like it's gonna be have a little bit more memory. It's gonna load a little bit faster. Of course, the GPU is gonna be more powerful, but I don't think the leap, it's gonna be more of a lateral leap rather than this thing runs at 16K, 160 frames a second.
we're not there yet.
Yeah.
Not as a society.
Well, and that's the thing. As a society, you're not
Because,
ready.
like televisions and projectors and things. We're not there. And by 2030, there are gonna be a lot of improvements, but you're gonna have to start telling people to get
Yeah,
new
because
TVs.
the thing is that you gotta keep in mind, right, that we got here because of like gotta go to school. Moore's law, and Moore's law um doesn't seem to apply to hardware anymore, as it used to. You can no longer create something that's twice as powerful for half the price 2 years later or whatever, right? I think it's going to be more efficient. It's going to run better. It's going to run cooler. You're going to be able to get more out of it. Get more with less, right? We're going to see AI, right? We're going to see AI upscaling. We're going to see a lot of that coming up. So I don't think that next gen is going to be like, yeah, we're going to brute force 8K, 120 frames a second for everyone on the PS6. It's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be a more subdued approach. AI, upscaling and all this stuff happening that's going to do the trick, right? Um, and PC guys too, yeah, well PC like if you have the money, you can brute force whatever you want. You can buy a $1,500 GPU and build yourself a $3,000-4,000 computer. Of course, like if you buy a Ferrari, you might as well drive fast, right? But but I'm here. It's like, hey, you know what? I don't necessarily need the Ferrari, but a Honda Accord hybrid looks pretty nice, and that Honda Accord hybrid is gonna get me where the Ferrari goes, and
Yeah.
a little bit later, but it's gonna get me there more efficiently, and I think that's what the next gen's gonna be. I think that there's two different approaches. I think Sony's following that approach more than Microsoft, because Microsoft already said it's like it's gonna blow your socks off, like they always do, dude. Because that's always been their thing. It's like you're gonna blow your socks off, and they gotta change that verbiage. They gotta change the attitude, right? And things are not that we're not in the mid 2000s. We're not in 2005 when the 360 came out, right? And Jay Allard was really cool, and he sat down on the floor at MTV and started talking about specs on the Xbox 360. Like we're past the edgy part of gaming, right? Yeah, there's some that grifters are gonna grift. People are out there grifting on gaming, like oh yeah, I love gaming, and then gaming is great, and this is my thing, like. We can see through your lies, but the people that really care, it's like I don't care how. Again, like I'm over all this like crazy graphic stuff, right? I'm to the point where it's like I'm having a great time with Shinobi. It's a great game. I really don't. Yeah, I'll play Ghost of Yota and Death Stranding. I'll play them. Once I finish Shinobi, yeah, probably the holidays or whatever. But like I don't have to be like I don't think visually um Metaphor Refantasio was an incredible looking game, but the art design gets you there. The art design on that game was incredible, right? But graphics, it would look like a really advanced PS3 game if you ask me. Like it didn't look like real like
It's more common than people
there's
realize.
there's a lot of like big crowds and all that, and that's cool, right? And that's the PS3 is not gonna be able to do that, but all things considered, it's not a phenomenal looking game. It was good looking because of the art design. The art design was so strong that it made it pop, made it look good. Best menus ever in any game, but um, I think that I'm not the only one that feels that way anymore. Like Nintendo has the Switch is still freaking killing it. Um, no, I'm not. No, dude, Metaphor is phenomenal. Are you kidding me? I was just gonna talk about Nintendo. Do more with less, right? Mario Odyssey is the best 3D platform. Oh no, no, no.
The chats go wild.
Let's go. Well, I gotta do it. Let's go. So, no, I mean the Switch is still selling really well, especially in Japan, and they keep releasing games on it. Um, Switch 2 is doing great. It clearly is not as powerful as the PS5, so I don't think that matters anymore, man. I think, you know, yeah. Again, PC gamers are they're gonna do whatever they want to do, and that's fine. But
Right.
like just the rest of us, it's like, yeah, we're okay. We just need good games. But do you want to talk real quick about the handheld rumors that that they allegedly? I don't know if you heard this. Is one other rumor from the weekend that allegedly they wanted to make a handheld, right? And they wanted to make it in house, like they do with the consoles. and they reached out to AMD. It's like, hey, AMD, make me this chip so we can do this handheld thing. And AMD said, you got to buy me 10 million of them. And then Xbox said, well, we can't guarantee that we're going to sell 10 million, considering that the Steam Deck sold like 1 million, right? So, that, allegedly that fell through, and then Microsoft reached out to ASUS to go ahead and make the Ally. So, what do you think of that? It's like that they couldn't meet the commitment, or they couldn't make the commitment, or guarantee the 10 million units on the handheld. I mean, again, like while you talk, I'll check how sales are doing overall for those PC handhelds. But yeah.
No, I'm not surprised. I think the handheld market, I think it's a little overhyped as well, to be completely honest with you. Yes, like everyone sees what's happening with how Nintendo changed their model and has a handheld to docking, a hybrid type model that seems to be really incredible. So some people are thinking, let me just add a handheld to the lineup of what they have, and that's just gonna automatically be able to be a competitor, even with the games being some great experiences that you can have now on handhelds that we could have only dreamt of when I was, a kid. I would have dreamt of having an opportunity to have played on the handhelds with some of the stuff that's being offered right now. I just don't think that those, when you're talking about to your core gaming audience, I don't think that's even a huge selling point. I would go as far as to say that even just like Nintendo, the handheld, people playing undocked essentially is probably not as high as people would think. I think it's probably higher in, like you're talking like other international locations where people are more common to maybe play, like on a form of transportation, commuting to their jobs, schools, and that type of a thing. But I can't imagine it's as high as some people like to think. Remember, this is the same generation of people who are like, well, you have an iPhone, and iPhone games are going to be the future. And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of successful iPhone games and mobile games and things that are successful. I'm not saying that they aren't, but you're not looking at, one of these Marvel tabletop phone game competing with Marvel Rivals. Like that's a completely different experience that's being had altogether, and they both are cool. But like at the end of the day, your console one's still gonna keep winning out. So I don't think this is just even like this property trying to say like we need to have this amount and they can't that quota. Like that's like indicative of just them. My opinion is a greater sign of just the markets as a whole.
Yep. So as of early 2025, the Steam Deck has around 4 million units, and all other PC handhelds combined, so meaning the ROG Ally and the Legion Go and all that stuff, around 6 million. So all in all, 10 million in around 5 years for the PC handhelds. When we're talking about like what the Switch 2, so what's at 7 already in 3 months. So, I don't know, man. And then Microsoft boasted that, oh yeah, we're sold out of the Ally, but how many of those are scalpers? How many of those are going to end up on eBay, right? I mean, that's how scalpers operate. They don't care. They don't care what it is. It's new. I'm just going to buy it. Like I don't think demand for this thing is that as high as they're making it to be, or they're just not making as many. I wonder how little Billy is gonna feel about it during the holiday season, right? And he goes to Auntie and is like, "Hey, Auntie, it's $1,000." And little Billy's like 16 already, right? And he's like, we've been talking about little Billy for 8 years.
Billy's been here for the last 15 years. I was kidding. No, I know.
Little Billy.
That's why I said little Jimmy now.
Oh,
little Jimmy is his cousin. That's
okay. Okay. So little Jimmy. We'll
move.
Little
Jimmy. Little Jimmy's the next one.
Little Billy. Yeah, little Billy.
Billy now is evolved to little Jimmy.
He's an OG. He's probably like 16, 18 already. So.
Yeah. Sorry.
But little Jimmy, when little Jimmy goes to auntie and asks, it's like, hey, this Xbox thing is $1,000. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like, am I gonna go to Best Buy on a Black Friday and see kids carrying this thing around with like, hey, we're gonna get one for Christmas? I doubt it. I doubt it,
Doubt it.
dude.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know, man. And there's so many options.
for sure.
Like if you want, like, yeah, that's cool. You want to play PC games on a handheld. That's awesome. That's great. A lot of people just want it because it's powerful. It runs everything. There are so many uh like small handhelds, like Android based and all that, and you got the Retroids and the Ambernicks and all these other guys, and then you have that other brand that's a little bit more higher end than those. But oh man, it's a rough place. It's a rough place to be, just because it's like their messaging is so all over the place that um I'm not sure what the plans
Yeah.
are. So yep.
No.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll keep you posted. Next week, we'll probably be back again early
Wednesday, most likely. Yep. Most
because
likely.
work.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, guys, no other time. The moments of video games that make me who I am, or that shape me who I am, whatever it's called. Uh, Check it out. Amazon, Barnes and Noble. I hope you enjoy it if you grab it. Again, I poured my heart into this thing. It's not going to be the only edition. I'm sure there's going to be revised editions, and I'm planning to either add more, and maybe evolve it into something else. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But um, in the meantime, just go ahead and check it out. If you guys want, it's $5.99 for the digital version, $15.99 for the paperback. So, yeah, thanks, guys. If I really do appreciate it if you go and check it out. Joel, let's go ahead and plug it in, sir.
Thank you all so much for staying tuned with us, Obit. I'm so excited about this book. Very excited. Highly recommend it. Please check it out, everybody. It's in the description area of our YouTube channel. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, look in that description area. I have the link to the No Load Time journals, a video gamers journal. Sorry.
I changed it. It's not.
You
It's
changed
not.
it,
It's not
yeah.
all the time. The moments in video games that shaped who I am.
That's
But
who I
inside,
am. Yeah.
inside it does say a gamer's journal.
Journal Gamers Journal.
Yeah.
Thank you. Everyone, though, please make sure you stay tuned, stay subscribed. We're on podcast platforms of your choice, places like SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music. Find us, subscribe to us. Like I just said, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. Follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. You can also support our show financially. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/No Load Time. That's patreon.com/No Load Time. You can support us as low as $1 a month being a producer of the show. Shout out to producer Tony. And last but not least, if you have a question, comment, or feedback, you can email us. You can always type in the chat, but you can also email us noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. And possibly we'll even talk about what you send in our future show. But with that all being said, thank you so much, and we'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe. We will see you again next time.